Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey, you guys. How was everyone's Thanksgiving? How are y'all doing today? Now, for those of you who don't know, and it seems like some of you don't, hey there, Becca, like Carla here, it seems like there's a few of you. This person was at the scene when the first responder showed up. This is the boyfriend of Josie, who was there, who went over there with Emily and Hunter, all those people from the Amazon series. And I'm going to pull up right now before we get to say hi for a few more minutes, because we try to do that for at least 10 minutes before we get started. I'll show you guys here on the first responder body cam where he's at here. I think I actually have this muted because the sound is not important. It's just me speaking. But it's him. He's over here. He was at the house with Emily and Josie and Hunter that night. He's standing right here. He's got the same outfit on in the interview. There he is. He's right here. That's who that is. Now, Bad Mom Bree has this. Let me actually show you guys, because it's wild, bro. She has a post that was put on, I'm guessing, Instagram from Josie. And it's basically talking about like why her and Linden ended up together. And it's pretty sadistic, because it's basically like, my friends were murdered and then he realized he loved me, and we've been together ever since. Like, why in the frick would you think that was something appropriate, in my opinion, to put on like a, hey, we're together and in love type post on your social media? Like, that is absolutely insane. I'm going to find it so I can show you, because she's got a screenshot of it. And when it was posted, it's absolutely wild. I've mentioned this before, and some of y'all have said that y'all have seen it. Hold on. I should have scrolled through her media ahead of time and grabbed it out. But honestly, I wasn't planning on showing it. I didn't even know ahead of time I was going to mention it, but you know, things just happen whenever I'm live and I just start talking. So here we go, right here. It says, my friends were murdered and he realized life is too short and told me he loved me, and we've been dating ever since. These were two of the people that were at the crime scene before. Jesus Christ. Before the cops got there. This is his interview with Mallory. Okay, I'm about to press play.
All right, my name's Lawrence.
Oh, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You have several members-only lives to catch up on before our next one. You got a lot.
What is your first name?
Again, I don't understand why they redact these full-on adults. Especially since they've done interviews. Like, your name's in the public, bro. What are we doing?
2002. And what's a good phone number?
Okay, this part I understand, obviously, but the names I don't understand.
And what's a good address for you?
Like here?
Yeah. Is that a frat?
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Hey, hey.
Sorry, I don't know any of that.
That's all right.
Stayed inside most of the time. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know like where the microphones are. I don't know if these are like on the wall. It doesn't sound like it's on their bodies. Their entire system is bad, super bad.
I apologize now for asking weird questions about sororities and fraternities, because I just never did that scene. So, what can you tell me? Did you go to the party?
No, I slept through that.
Okay.
I was sleeping at the Whites with
Josie.
Crashed pretty early, and then we were up. We got back up around really early in the morning, 2, 3.
What time did you guys crash, roughly?
8 maybe.
Yeah.
Now, see, that part makes sense to me because in the books, it says that Emily went to bed super early. If Josie and Emily and Linden were all at the house with Emily at the same time that they went to bed, that makes sense that they all just crashed. We know that the girls at 11:22 all took naps and woke up at around 8 o'clock. So so there's that part too. Like, we know that like napping and sleeping early is something that's obviously pretty common there. We also know that when it came to Hunter and Ethan's communications, and again, only from like what we've heard from Ethan. No, I'm sorry. What we've heard from Hunter about Ethan, because the book gives information that's a little bit different. And then Hunter is the only one coming out and claiming it. And they're not giving us any downloads of Ethan's phone stuff. Literally at all. We're not getting anything but a DoorDash receipt. And they're again supposed to be using that for Xana's proof of life, which they've completely failed to make any of that make sense whatsoever. So according to the information that we have, Ethan was texting Hunter to try to get him to come out to the Sigma Chi party, but he didn't want to go because Emily was asleep. And if Emily woke up in time, then they would all head out. But I don't think they ever ended up meeting up, or at least that's the way that we were told. I don't know if we got information from when Hunter went back to get his phone, because he apparently left the phone at 11:22 at some point during the day. But that part's even confusing still because they were all hanging out at the Whites. He took pictures of everyone at the Whites. I don't remember them ever telling us prior to that information that he or any of them that doesn't live at 11:22 went back into 11:22 before then leaving. I was just under the impression that Emily and Josie and Hunter and whoever like instantly went back to their own place and didn't go back to 11:22. But I don't remember if he said he left his phone at 11:22 before they all went to the Whites or after they went to the Whites. And that information is again only coming out in these like interviews, I think, because they ended up showing us like pictures in the Amazon Prime series of the selfies that were taken on his phone. I believe by Dylan. Was it Dylan? Help me remember, guys. Was it Dylan and Maddie? That's the pictures I'm seeing in my head, but that might be incorrect. But we know that it was there for a while, and pictures of them, girls in the house, were taken on his phone selfie-wise. And then he ended up getting the phone later. Yeah, I know. That's the problem, too. That's the problem, too. There's so many different versions of the stories, like even coming from the same sources. I don't even remember at this point. I'm gonna have to go back into that timeline. But that would also put him back in the house at some point afterwards, maybe, if for his phone to have been left. Why you would just leave your phone there and not instantly go get it too? Like, that's kind of weird, especially like in today's age with that age of human. Like, why would you just not have your phone for a couple of hours and not have a whole panic attack? I would have instantly turned around and dropped everything in my life to go back and get my phone, because what if something happens? What if there's an emergency? What if I get lost? What if somebody breaks into my bank account and I miss the notifications and everything gets... There's so many things lifeline-wise on your phone, unfortunately, these days. I worry about my passwords and stuff instantly. Like, my phone is the first thing I check for because so much information's on that thing. You just leave it like that? Dylan and Maddie, that's what I thought. But I don't know. This whole 3 o'clock waking up thing, we've definitely heard in the book and in the Amazon series.
And then, sorry, woke up around that time that happened.
Okay.
And yeah.
What, help me, for somebody that doesn't know the layout of the sororities, where's the Whites compared to where Dylan and them live?
The Whites is like, let's say, what's that street? So here's the Whites apartment, maybe.
Okay.
Like, that's like the 2 apartment complexes.
Right.
And I was like up here. And the other house is like back here.
Oh, do you access that off of a side road, or does it come through the parking lot?
You go, like the parking lot, you go right here.
Okay.
Go walk through there.
Football field just?
Yeah, he's acting like he like really has no memory of something that just happened hours before this. Like less than 12 hours before this. And it's like he really is trying to like
not be, it's weird how he's really not trying to push out too much detail and being really quiet about pretty much all of it. And that happened. Yeah, I don't really like how he's answering stuff at all.
Distance? What kind
Yeah.
of distance?
I'd say so.
Right?
Okay. And that's Joe's apartment?
Yeah, Joe's apartment.
Gotcha. Okay.
We both live there.
Okay. So, you guys woke up about that time. What woke you up at that point?
You woke us up?
Yeah, what's, did you
Just
have?
woke up.
Okay.
I don't really know.
What'd you do at that point?
We were just hanging out in the living room.
Yeah.
Just talking. And then we were up till probably about almost 5.
Yeah.
And then went back to bed. And then we woke up in the morning. I'd say probably around 9. Maybe earlier. I'm not really sure. I didn't sleep much.
Yeah.
But and then.
Why didn't you sleep much?
Okay.
No, I don't remember what time they said that they woke up that morning. I know it's mentioned in the book that they were up for a little bit before they got the phone call from Dylan. So that's not really anything new either. I'm just not sure on the time.
And then I think, and she sounded pretty scared. She said there was somebody in her house last night. They ran downstairs and locked themselves in a room because she saw somebody in her house and she only sees nose in his chin or something like that.
Okay, that wasn't mentioned like on the phone call, was it? Because Emily didn't say Dylan was sitting there describing the freaking facial features of the person. And we already know at this point now that Dylan, in none of her things, like say any of that, at least something that we've gone through so far about a nose, except for it being a woman with a big nose. Remember how she said that when she had her therapist go like deep inside of her whatever to try to figure things out, she could only ever hear one set of footprints, which she swears was Kaylee. She never heard another person's footprints chasing after Kaylee or anything else. This is in the reports. This is in the interview. She is saying these things with her own voice. Okay. Then that she apparently, while she's trying to claim that she was asleep and going in and out of sleep, which obviously her phone records prove otherwise, and not once in anything that Bethany said did she ever say she woke up and found Dylan asleep. Every time she woke up, Dylan was awake and doing something. Every time. Again, her own words, not me making up things or misreading a report. In her own voice in the interviews that are audio only that we've gone over already, these are the things being said. The only thing about a nose that Dylan says is that there was a woman with a big nose dressed in all black that eventually was super nice and that ended up being a guy at the end or some crap literally like that. A woman with a big nose dressed in all black that was eventually super nice and that turned into a dude. This was what she said in her interviews with her own face, with her own voice again. That's the only time. So where is he getting this thing about a nose and a chin? This had to have been from like the huddle that they were all in at the dumpster. This is already where whatever was said to him in order for Hunter to like leave the house, in order for Emily to leave, Josie to leave, for him to follow, in order for everyone to leave, that original story has already been tainted because none of these people were separated. They've had a million years at this point, if you really want to think about it, to have the conversation for new information to then taint the original story. Where did this chin and nose stuff come from? Where? This was not said by Emily whatsoever when it came to Dylan needing to come over, needing them to come over. Yes, because Molly has a pretty big nose for a female. She does. And she looked like she was wearing dark clothes that night. That's why I really hope that they have footage from Jack in the Box. I hope that they heard what this person said in her interview and went and got footage, because there's no way that Pullman didn't get it. well, you know what? They might not have. All of the the Pullman FOIA stuff, I need to go in and see if they've done anything with the Jack in the Box address, because just for like in cases, according to these reports, they went and got all kinds of surveillance footage for like certain periods of time down certain main roads. And I'm wondering if Jack in the Box is one of them. I don't remember. But we have all of it. We got several different drops of information from Pullman. And we need to go back through it and see, because I would love to know if they do, because if they do, I want it. I don't know how you could hear that this person had somebody waiting for them in the parking lot as they went through doing all these weird double door dashes and stuff like that. And you don't grab the Jack in the Box footage to see who the weirdo was sitting in the parking lot. That'd been the first thing. That'd been the first thing I would have done. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he just got this from, because there's no way that that was said. That doesn't even make any sense. By now, everybody's mixed up at the dumpster, in the vehicles on the way over, sitting in the rooms together where they're not being separated. God, this was done so horribly.
Okay.
And then she like was freaking out. She wanted us to go over there. So we got her stuff and went over there.
So you and Joe at the house didn't go to the...
No.
Right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They also didn't go to the... right?
I don't think so, no.
So when was... Yeah, nine in the morning-ish. When was the time before that you saw him?
I was up with...
I'm gonna try to find it.
So that you were hanging out with the girls at that point?
Yeah.
Was Hunter there?
Yeah, he was sleeping in the bed.
Okay.
Or he was at his apartment, I'm not sure. I remember being there though.
Okay. And then obviously knows girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is she part of that, or is she in a different sorority? Is she in her sorority right now?
Yeah.
She is, okay.
Well, I think she might have dropped, but she's still technically, or maybe not technically.
Okay. Okay. So you woke up, Emily and Hunter are there. And normal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, yeah, and
In the morning.
that was what time-ish?
Yeah, so just not to like try to dig too far and waste too much time in this book. The only portion of it that has information, at least right now, about that morning, just says that basically at the time that Dylan calls Emily, they're having breakfast. So they've been up long enough to fully wake up, cook food, and like start, eating. So yeah, I guess that the timing makes sense, honestly.
Maybe around 10-ish.
Okay. And then you guys went over to the house. Did you all drive in the same car?
We walked,
Walked.
because it's really
That's
close.
not that, yeah, that was my bad.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to kill the environment by driving. So what happens when you get to the house?
Ran out, or they were crying,
They ran out, okay,
Walking
and
out.
crying, see?
and
So he gets there right as they're coming outside. See, Hunter's story of getting to 1122 is going to be different than Emily, Josie's, and Linden's, because when he gets there, he's claiming they're still in the bottom room. They're still in Bethany's room until he gets there, that he had to put the code in. That's when they realize that it's him, I guess, and they like come out. And then as these people are coming in, he's apparently already told them to get out. Even though, again, we hear that on the 911 call. So that shit still makes no freaking sense to me. Literally at all. But they say in the book that they're outside covering their like faces like this. Like their hands are covering their faces. Because I'm pretty sure what it says when they get there. Because Hunter like takes off out of there. Yeah, okay, right here on page 134, the same page I just mentioned. Well, I can't even see my damn camera screen to see if you can even see this. Eek. Hold on. It's right. It's going to be right here. It says, okay. Actually, it says Hunter. As Hunter enters the house and passes Dylan and Bethany, who are barefoot, hands over their mouths, crying. They wait while he goes up the stairs. So they're already, like, they hear the door open. They're outside of Bethany's room. They're already, like, crying with their hands covering their faces. And this is from, like, Hunter seeing Emily coming up and telling her to turn around. So that whole portion is still so confusing because we hear that like that whole situation is what caused the 911 call to happen, but then we also hear the situation happening on the 911 call itself. Like, I don't understand why everything has to have something wrong with it. That's so stupid. There's no other word about it. Stupid.
Out there before us.
Was he with you guys left that apartment at the same time, or?
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense.
He went ahead of us.
Okay.
He was, I think, really concerned.
Gotcha.
And we got there, I was inside, and everyone was crying, and then I went into the downstairs door, but I didn't go up the stairs because it was up there too.
So he walked over the threshold of the front door, but never went up the stairs.
And said, "Don't come up here, you don't want to see this."
Yeah, because they said that Emily was the first one like up there, which we still need to discuss that knife that she claims that she sees on the floor when she gets up there, and Hunter's claiming that he gets a knife out of the drawer in the kitchen, but we don't, like, I've never seen it. Some people say that they can see it. I did not see a knife on the floor in the first responder cams, but Emily's claiming that she sees one, and we've like, yeah, we still need to talk about that because that's kind of freaking crazy. That's like super freaking crazy. But we know that Emily was like the first one to get to the very top of that step that leads to the second floor. And then it should have been Josie. And then Linden was like the last one, as I think how it went. So he's claiming that he was stopped by Hunter saying to get out right as he got inside, but he never stepped foot on the steps, as that sounds.
Okay. How well do you know, did you know Ethan?
Not well.
Wild.
Yeah.
Just know about him, kind of thing, through the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever talk about Xana or Maggie or
Maggie?
Kaylee? Maddie, sorry.
Oh my God.
What do you mean?
Did she ever talk just about them having boyfriends, anything like that? Did she know Xana? And
Yeah,
so
they're really close friends.
right. So do you remember them talking about anything like boyfriends that are being assholes?
No.
Or, guys maybe at work that are being assholes, anything like that? Okay.
All right, I found it. On page 70 in the book, it's where it says, which is, this part's also a lie because I believe Hunter even says in his interview that we went over, and I could be wrong, so don't completely quote me, but I swear this is what he said, that he only checked on Xana. He never even noticed Ethan. Not at first. That he didn't notice Ethan at first. That's what I swear he said. That's why I remember, like, where did the whole I checked Ethan's pulse thing come from then? Because he's claiming that he didn't even notice Ethan when he went into that room. But here on page 70, my thingy just fell. Here on page 70 in the book, and again, this is apparently interviews that were done from the Amazon Prime series where everyone's face is on the camera. There's blood everywhere. He takes in Ethan on the bed behind her, facing towards the wall, which isn't true because, he said out of his own face that he didn't even notice Ethan at first. Hunter's heart is about to explode. He doesn't go any farther into the house. He turns around, goes downstairs, and says as calmly as he can to Dylan and Bethany, "Call 911 and stay outside." He takes a breath, goes back up the stairs, and heads to the kitchen across the hall from Xana's room. He opens a drawer and takes out a kitchen knife. He's terrified. Then it says that he's about to go into Xana's room when he hears someone coming up the stairs, and it's Emily, and that's whenever he stops her. So in my opinion, if the knife was on the floor for Emily to see, it could not have been one that Hunter, if that story is true, it could not have been one that Hunter dropped, because she would have said, I heard a loud thud and then saw a knife at the top of the step. And that's not what she's claiming. And there's no knife that's going to fall on that rickety ass floor and not make a lot of noise. So he is lying, because if that was true, again, we would see 2 knives. We should see 2 knives on the table. We should see the one that was on the ground that obviously he picked up. He's the only person back there. He's the only person in the house at the time that it is no longer on the floor in like less than a minute. I'm astounded. That part too.
Have you seen or heard anything on social media popping up?
No.
Okay.
My phone died.
Understood.
Correct. Correct, because her feet were facing the door. That's why when Dylan keeps saying, oh, all I could see was the top of her head. How are you seeing the top of her head if her head was facing the wall and her feet was facing the door? You could see that she had no pants on, but you couldn't see the blood on her legs, and you saw the top of her head. That doesn't logically make sense. The documents apparently claim the knife itself was not tested, but that there's a drop of blood on the table and it tested positive for Kaylee's. That's stuff that I have to go in and clarify myself, but apparently a few different creators have gone through the documents and have seen that. Right, but that it's a steak knife that we see on the table, but the stories that we're getting are different. He is claiming that he went to the kitchen, and he says this in his interviews that are on the Amazon Prime series in one of the 4 episodes. He's sitting next to Emily, and he says this, that he went to the kitchen, he grabbed a steak knife. That knife was just on the floor. And then all of a sudden, that knife is gone. A minute later, in another body cam, Hunter's the only person back there, and the knife is now on the table. That is not the story that we've been told about how he got that knife. I mean, but does it? I don't know. We're going to have to go into the documents real soon and find that portion of it.
My camera's about to do the same thing, so. Okay. Any of the girls that you know of having kind of stalking history?
I know. We just showed it. I don't know. Like, why are you screaming? We just watched it in both body cams. I know. We saw it.
Or anything like that from guys in the past?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I did hear Dad say something about like a month ago there was like a guy stalking her or something like that. I think you might want to talk to her about that.
Okay.
He sounds like he's sniffing from the
Okay.
upset.
Anything else that I need to know that you can think of?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. And being 100 yards or ish away, did you hear anything? And did you hear anything? Fireworks, backfires? Okay. Obviously, if you think of anything, let us know. I've been telling everybody that you guys have the crisis center on campus. My recommendation would be not to wait until you think you need it. As a cop that sees a lot of bad stuff throughout my career, I've learned that if I wait, usually it's too late. Take advantage of those. Go talk to somebody, even if it's just, hey, not being able to sleep or whatever it is. Those things are huge as far as values to helping out. So don't think that you got to power through anything like this. If you have any kind of sleeplessness, lack of appetite, anything like that, go talk to somebody. It's just not worth it to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we'll go see.
That's it.
It's out there again. Check on her again. Anything else you think I need to know? I don't think so. All right, come on.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and roll this out. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.